Mythic Legions, Advent of Decay, Ravaena is in the DorkLair! Welcome to another DorkLair action figure review. If you enjoy this video, please leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe. Now, let's take a look at this Cleric of Mythos. And this is from the Advent of Decay wave, and I picked this up during the in-stock sale in early December. Ravaena was the fan choice figure, and it involved a very, very detailed series of votes over the course of the Kickstarter campaign where every little detail on this figure was voted on. I think it started with something like, would you like it to be male or female? And then everybody voted and they picked female. And then it became, which body type piece do you want to use, and which, armor piece, and which weapons, and all that stuff. So this was created as a fan choice type figure, and the storyline behind this character is pretty cool because she connects back with the fan choice from the 1.0 line, which is Vorgus Vermilius, and so she's the good counterpoint to the evil vampiric Vorgus, according to her bio on the box. My overall impression with this figure is really nice. I love the paint applications and just the look of the figure overall, as well as the awesome selection of accessories that she comes with. Just a lot of really cool things, a lot of good features, pretty good swappability, and some fun things from straight up battle weapons to mage staff, and she even comes with some other neat things. So she's kind of like a loaded figure. I think that they went all out with the fan choice figure in terms of accessories and all that. Standard Mythic Legions packaging here with the character and the bio on the side. Image of other characters and description of the realm on the back. And then on this side you have the Convocation of Basilia, which is the legion that she is a part of. And it tells you all about that in that little bio right there. And let's take a look at how she compares to some other figures. So right here we have the Mezco 112 Collective Aquaman, a movie I have yet to see. I want to check it out. And then we have the Mythic Legions Thistlethorn next to her. And to get a little Star Wars in here, here's how she compares to Qui-Gon Jinn, who I think is sort of a taller Figuarts figure. And then next to Captain Phasma, which is a Bandai 112 model kit. Scales pretty well, I think. But then when you put her next to a Figuarts Princess Leia, you're going to really see that size difference there. And taking a look at the overall appearance of the figure, I think, again, this is where, in my opinion, the line really flourishes, is in the paint work and the details of the all the different types of paint and applications that they use on these figures. And the fact that they're able to replicate that across a number of figures. It's not just these tiny production runs. These are fairly decently produced figures. Starting at the head. So this piece here is all attached to the head, so it's all part of her head. And, it's basically like meant to kind of look like a hood that connects in with the same color as the cape. But it has that nice metallic sort of gold trim about it, which matches up with these shoulder pads, which are removable, of course. Then you have basically just like a black suit underneath, like an all black clothing underneath, with blue shiny metallic armor and some nice gold and silver accents throughout there. This piece is a softer material and it's removable for customization. This piece is also the same way, but it's a separate piece that pegs into the front. And then you have the boots and the knee armor. Lots of nice details there. So you have parts of her that look almost shiny and majestic. And then you also have cool leathery, almost leathery goods in the gauntlets and the boots there with really nice worn details. Got buckles and everything else there. So really nicely painted. It's got a flowy cape. I do my capes a little bit differently than some other people, I think. It ends up being a little weird looking from behind, but the way I do my cape, I'm able to pull it across the front like that or tuck it in the back all the way rather than it always just being in the back. If anybody has any suggestions for if there's a better way to do the cape while still maintaining this over-the-shoulder look, let me know in the comments below. And pretty much it for the look of the figure. We'll get into the accessories next. So I'll start popping these things off here. So I've done this in another video, but if you want to see what I do with the cape, I basically peg this in like so. Then I take this and I fold it this way. So it's like sort of a zigzag fold, and then stick it in there. And then I just peg that into the back. So here's the cape. It's almost got a little bit of a sheen to it. Nice material, nice loose material, so it flows and looks kind of cape-like on the figure. You've got the shoulder pads, shoulder armor, which have a worn armor kind of look to them. Really nice. Then, okay, so there's a lot of stuff here. So as usual, like pretty much every figure, she comes with the shoulder strap that can go this way over the shoulders. It could be like a belt, but it's got a little slot for a weapon. And then she comes with this banner that's got the Mythic Legions symbol on it. And that can go into this thing, and it's like incredibly long. So I can't even get it on screen. That's how long it is. But this piece is multifunctional, and she also comes with a top of a mage's staff. She's a cleric. She comes with this top of like this staff, and I prefer it on here just because of the size of it. It tends to, I feel like it's more suitable for the character size. But in the packaging, it came on this other staff right here. And now through the use of putting it on that other one, it's super loose on here. I think I stretched out the peg hole on it. So it's super loose on here now. But I don't really want to use it on this because it's kind of it's kind of huge. She also comes with another top. So just a different style of staff topper with this one, which is pretty cool too. You can get a look at it. I think the paint application on this guy is much better. Look at all that detail, wood work there. This gnarly old log. There's a little bit of like, I think this is cast in blue, so it's not painted, so you're going to see like I mean, I could probably just like go over that with some paint, but you can see the seam from casting it. So we've got this nicely painted crossbow, and it's actually kind of functional. It's got a elastic type of string on it, and then it's got a little arrow, and you can peg the arrow right into this piece right here, and you can even get the string set to the back of it. So really nice crossbow here. It can be a little finicky trying to get it positioned in her hand correctly because of the way the hand rocks this way, right? Ideally you would want it to rock the other way like this so that you could have her hand angled down when she's grasping this, but then I just kind of fudged it a little bit and just angled it on the hand in a weird way to get the look that I wanted. And then she has a quiver of arrows with it. And so what you could potentially do with that is peg it into this and then get that around her shoulder. those don't come out or anything like that, but it's nicely detailed. So full on crossbow marksman kit with her. She comes with this, what looks like probably like an enchanted relic of a sword. And the packaging talks about how she's been trying to collect weapons and relics so that she can defeat Vorgus. So I'm kind of thinking this is the sword that would be able to kill Vorgus Vermilius. But I don't know that this sword has a name. Some of the swords do have names, but this one I'm not sure. And then as usual, she comes with like the adapters, as all the figures do, where if you were to get some wings or other different types of pieces, you'd be able to peg them into her back. And as for the articulation, her head is on a ball joint, moves around a decent amount. Obviously a little bit hindered by this plastic hood that's permanently attached to her head. Her shoulders move up this far, and elbows go about 90 degrees. And you have a swivel at the upper forearm, and then you have swivel and hinge on the hands, on the wrists. There is a separate joint up top here, so she's got a decent amount of crunch up at the upper torso here, and it turns side to side, and then her waist turns. It doesn't crunch or anything. That's just on a single peg. Her legs can kick out, but the armor here kind of stops them from going out, but they could go way further. If you took that off, they could go a lot further than what I'm doing here. And then they kick forward good amount. They kick backwards. There's no, a lot of the figures have the upper thigh swivel. I mean, you can move it, but I mean, I guess there is a swivel, but it's not in the same place. Doesn't function the same way as a usual figure. And then you have single jointed knee that comes up this far. And the feet articulate side to side like they do with the angled peg, and then they rock forward and backwards. So pretty standard articulation for a Mythic Legions figure. My overall impression is this figure is pretty great. There's a few little kind of like gripes where I had this thing stretch out from putting it on the other staff, and now it's just loose and it can't really go on here. I mean, I could fix that easily, but there was that. And then the legs can be a little weird to articulate sometimes. I sometimes, I don't know why, but I just have trouble getting her into like a decent pose, like a decent action pose with her legs. I don't know if it's this that's hindering it or what's going on, but I kind of struggle a little bit with getting her into a good pose from the waist down. Also the feet, she's got some loose parts, so the feet are pretty loose here. And so if you stand her, she can sometimes easily do that. And then like the wrist, it's just like, can be super loose and fall over. So, but that tends to come with the territory with these. They once you play with them a little bit, they loosen up a bit. They kind of start off stiff and then become a little bit looser. Overall, Ravaena is a great figure. Very happy to have her. I do think that she pretty much has to have the cape on to look right with this head sculpt. With this cloak, it's just doesn't look right to have just a hood without anything else, in my opinion. But so there's not a ton of options, like, hood, cloak on, cloak off doesn't really work that way. I kind of wish it had a swappable head that had like the same awesome face sculpt just without the hood, or with the hood down. I think that would have been really cool. But overall, very much like this figure. I didn't even really talk about the face paint, but it's pretty nice. I have one little blemish over here, if you can see it on her left cheek there. It's like a little bit of a mold blemish type thing, but looks really good. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out our other videos, like our top 10 action figures of 2018. Find links to the DorkLair Collecting Podcast and our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages in the description below. And May the Force be with you.
DorkLair!